the cognitive. Sometimes a younger child is truly convinced that because they're young and they don't have a lot of years of experience maybe with both parents, or they don't have the cognitive ability to say, what you're saying about my parent really doesn't match that parent's behavior, right? They don't have the critical thinking skills to work that out. But an older teenager who's had, 10, 12, 14 years with a parent, knows what they're saying, and knows that one parent's trying to convince them. On some level, they know that. And so I think that there's a different level of guilt and shame for that older teenager, maybe, or even a middle-aged teenager, for participating in that. Yeah. And I do see, I've been doing this long enough that I've talked to some older young adults who have figured things out or tried to reconnect with a parent. And the damage, they say, shows up in all their relationships. Not just trying to reconnect with the parent that they rejected, but also maintaining healthy relationships with friends, being able to be successful in their first year of college. I can't tell you how many older teens that the litigation is happening maybe from 16 to 18. So let's say I'm a guardian and I've watched them go through 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, or 11th and 12th grade, and they're going to try and go off to college. And the majority of them can't make it through their first year of college. They just do not have the skills, because a lot of their development has just been shut down because of some of this is in Jennifer Harman's work, where she talks about, the first thing you do is you disconnect from yourself. If you're going to reject a parent at that age, when you kind of know the difference between what your parent's saying and how the parent actually acted, if you're going to reject a parent, you're going to override your own critical thinking skills, right? You're going to give up your own sense of self, your own sense of reality, and you're going to take on the reality of your favored parent. That's going to become your reality. And in that way, you give up a piece of yourself. You give up your identity formation, which is one of the biggest developmental things we're trying to do in adolescence, right? Figure out who we are. We believe different things from our parents just to sort of try things out. We do all of that, push limits. We do all of those things to figure out what's our value system. And these teenagers don't do that. And so they end up going to college really having missed out on 2 years of development. Yes, and legal professionals, with a lawyer saying even 3 months is a long time, right? Even if it's been a couple of weeks or 4 weeks, a month, I'm usually saying you need to stop this right now. There needs to be contact. Yes, we can try family therapy, but trying family therapy and not having contact is not the answer. Or if you're going to try family therapy, give it 4 weeks. If people have not made a session every week and contact hasn't started in some way to show some progress, then it's not going to work. Maybe it will work. I don't know that I could say that for every single case, but in the majority of cases, that contact is the most important piece. That is one thing that we know clearly from the research, is that one of the things that can help us, one of the easiest things to do, is increase time for the rejected parent. The research shows that just increasing time will help the majority of the cases. So letting that time lag is so detrimental. But it's very hard to get lawyers to, in their mind, they're thinking, well, okay, but that means if they don't agree, I've got to file for a hearing and we've got to go to court. And I'm like, yes, you do. Sometimes a younger child is truly convinced that because they're young and they don't have